Hello and welcome to today's episode of Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am Evan Deal with Elite Icon Team and eXp Realty, and today we are going to take a map view of Plainfield, Indiana, and explore this community and see what makes it such an amazing suburb around Indianapolis. But before we dive into that, be sure to leave a like on this video, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so that you are kept in the loop on everything happening in and around the Circle City, this place that we call home and that we love. You don't want to miss it. Now, with that, let's take a look at Plainfield. All right, now let's take a map look at Plainfield, Indiana. So if we look at our map, we can see here's the Circle City, Indianapolis, and we are going to go out west, kind of southwest for Plainfield. So Plainfield's out here. It's underneath Avon and Brownsburg. Here's Danville. This is Hendricks County. Indianapolis sits in Marion County. So Plainfield is going to be down here. And you're going to see something right away just outside of Plainfield, but not actually in it. Here's the Indianapolis International Airport. So IND, the best airport in all of the United States. Don't just take my word for it. It's been ranked that for 12 straight years and probably for infinity years in the future because it's amazing. Don't knock it till you try it. It really is an awesome airport. But it sits just outside of Plainfield, but not actually in Plainfield because then it'd be the Plainfield Airport. And let's take a look at the major roads that go kind of through Plainfield and connect it with the rest of the city. So the big one is I-70, one of the longest interstates in the country. It goes sort of all the way across the United States, right? It goes right through Plainfield and connects it to 465, which takes you around Indianapolis. And then one of the major highways, also across the entire country, is US 40, which goes through Plainfield on the north side. And those two are connected by 267 north and south. So really easy to get around Plainfield. I would say it's one of the, if not the easiest suburb to get to of all of Indianapolis because it's right off of I-70. And it's, just outside of Indianapolis. It's right by the airport. It is very, very easy to get to and to navigate around. So let's take a look at some of the sights and scenes around Plainfield. If we zoom in a little bit, you'll see the little commercial areas off of I-70. There's tons of just sort of chain restaurants here. There's hotels, all sorts of stuff. It's very normal here, right? It's right by the airport. It's just outside of Indianapolis. It's a very good place to stay if you're flying or if you are, doing something downtown, like going to one of the major events. This little commercial area just off the interstate is really convenient. So some of the major parks here, we've got Hummel Park. This is a big one. And let's dive into it. There we go. Oh, look at that cool playset. Scroll down, see if we can find some pictures too. Yeah, really lots of walking trails, place for dogs, nature, great hiking, great playing. Yeah, there's also Swinford Park, which is just up the road. Swinford Park's got this super cool looking playset. My kids have really enjoyed that in the past. But they're kind of connected. It's like a park area in Plainfield. Let me zoom out if you can get a beat on it. Yeah, so you can see that they are right up the road from each other here off of 267, and it's really neat. There's tons of stuff to do. You see people getting outdoors all over the place. Up here in the north is another one I want to highlight, and this is Splash Island. Indoor water park, really, really fun place. Yeah, it's got a 900-foot lazy river. But just a great place to get in and splash around. So I know they have parties there. They have just all sorts of swimming and aquatic activities, but it's a really neat place to check out within Plainfield. And while we're up here, let's go ahead and dive into the Plainfield downtown. So if you watched our pros and cons video, then you'll know that the downtown in Plainfield was a super pro in its favor because it's really cool. It's got a historic downtown. It's not massive or anything, but there's no lack of things to do in and around Plainfield. And one of the benefits is this downtown. So just a couple highlights. We have the Oasis Diner here, which is like a cool throwback. Let's click into it so you can see it. So here's some of the pictures. You can see it's got that, classic diner vibes. It's really neat. Who doesn't love that? Very, American restaurant. Um, One of the other places, sorry, I'm going wild here. We've got places like the Mama Bird Bakery. We've got Flapjack's Pancake House. There's all sorts of local flair within the downtown of Plainfield. The vast majority of the restaurants in Plainfield are going to be more of your typical, Applebee's, Chili's type establishments. Lots of chain restaurants, really all over the place. But you do have this bit of local flair in the downtown. One other thing I want to highlight here is Hendrix Live, which is a really nice, relatively new performing arts center that's kind of for all of Hendricks County, but specifically sitting in the heart of downtown Plainfield. I've driven by this tons of times. I actually watched it go up over time. I'm like, what are they building there? And then I saw it. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So they have all sorts of performing like musical acts there, stage acts. It's just really cool, and it's created a new sort of arts and culture hub within Plainfield and within Hendricks County as a whole. You see this in other areas around Indianapolis. You see it downtown. You see it up in Carmel. But this is a cool feature for the West Side to have, and is a major, major development that took a lot of time, and it turned out really great. So now let's take a look at the shopping amenities within Plainfield, and we're going to go to the shops at Perry Crossing. So I just want to outline this for you to give you an idea. So you can see the massive sort of tan space on the Google map here, and this is where you can there's all sorts of like outdoor shopping here. It's tons and tons and tons of stores, anything you could ever want. It's a really cool, really nicely developed area. Just kind of giving you a vibe check here. Let's head down the street. Zoom, zoom. So got the movie theater. You've got all the sorts of stores you would normally see, in a mall here. There's restaurants. There's places to hang out and eat. It's just really well developed. And, they've got plenty of parking here, but really it's very walkable once you get there. It's an enjoyable walk throughout the shopping area. There's a massive Dick's Sporting Goods here. But it really is a cool shopping hub on the west side. You've got Rockville Road up in Avon that's got tons of sort of any sort of store you want on the west side. But that's a big, long road. You're driving along the strip. This is more of a mall feel here at the shops. And it really is a nice outdoor mall. I mean, you can see it. It looks very nice here. So no lack of shopping in Plainfield, and really no lack of shopping all throughout the west side of Indianapolis. So with that in mind, let's actually look at what it's like to live in Plainfield and explore some of the real estate and the different neighborhoods around the area. All right, now let's take a look at some of the homes around Plainfield, and it's a really interesting real estate market. So it constantly moves out there. There's no problem buying and selling homes in Plainfield. There's inventory, there's demand out there, but you'll see a mix of different types of homes. There are pre-existing homes, there are new builds, and within Plainfield, you're going to see kind of a happy medium on price point compared to other areas in and around Indianapolis. You're not going to see the highest luxury homes in Plainfield. You're going to see just a consistent kind of quality level throughout. So let's take a look and give you an idea of how some of the different neighborhoods are priced and what they've been selling for. So you can see we have some higher priced homes to the south, but we're actually going to go a little bit to the north here. And you're going to see a full range of in the kind of mid 200s to the mid 400s. And that's what you'll see throughout most of Plainfield. So let's dive into some of these. Let's start up here. We'll see 275. So 2 bed, 2 bath, 1,600 square feet. Here we have a 247, 3 bed, 2.5 bath, 1,356 square feet. And here we have like a 289. three bed, two bath, 1,500 square feet. So you can see very similar, very similar across different neighborhoods here. These aren't all right in the same pocket. We're going to move up in price point just a little bit here. 1,700 square feet, 3,325,000. Can't talk today. We have a 380 over here, 3.5, a little bit bigger on the square footage, almost 2,900 square feet. But you have some pockets within Plainfield, if I can zoom in properly, that are going to jump up a little bit in price point. So here, let's double click into this a little bit. We've got a 520,000. This is in Trescott. And this was in the 500,000 range. You can see it's a little bit bigger too, 3,300 square feet. Here, all the way up to almost 700,000. And once again, this is in Trescott. We're still in the same neighborhood. So I say this in every suburb and everywhere around Indianapolis. It really depends on the area you're in and the neighborhood you're in. It's going to dictate the pricing for the area. Here's a 545, 3 bed, 3 bath. So now let's zoom out. But you're going to see throughout Plainfield, that's not really the norm of the pricing. You're not seeing that $500,000 plus throughout most of Plainfield. Here we have another pocket in the twos. We have, sorry, let me zoom up a little bit. And here you have a mix of 300s, of 400s, high 200s. This is what you're going to see throughout most of Plainfield as we continue to move around. Let's take a look at some of the houses. Here's a 273, 1,700 square feet. Here's a 365, 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 2,300 square feet. Here's a little pocket of 400s. So you have basically 415 at 2,500 square feet and a 450. Whoa, they zoomed in. 458, 3 bed, 3.5 bath, 3,572 square feet. But that's what you're going to look for when you're shopping in Plainfield. You're going to look at the pockets and the neighborhoods to get the different pricing differences, or you're going to trust your realtor, which is me, hopefully, to do it for you and really help guide you along the way. So I'm not going to click into every area of Plainfield because I don't want to beat you over the head with the same messaging here. That you can see this kind of 300s is kind of the normal price point throughout Plainfield. The median home price is around 340 to 350 K, and you can definitely see that on the map. And it depends on the neighborhood you're in. That's going to change the pricing. Once we get over to the east a little bit, you're going to see the prices drop a bit. Here we're in the 200s, so 1,100 square feet ranch. We have 290, 1,900 square foot ranch, 235, 2 bed, 1 bath. That actually looks like a duplex. So let's see, 215K ranch. So you can see different communities are going to have different architecture styles, and the homes are going to kind of be similar to each other in these different pockets within Plainfield. And then here's one of the distinctly different areas, if I can zoom in instead of out for you, is near downtown here. We've got lower priced homes here. So we have 195 at 2,700 square feet. We have 150K here, 2,100 square feet. We have 180K here. So you can see these are a little bit lower priced than some of the homes that are further out in the sort of the wild of Plainfield in the countryside. Once we get north, closer to Avon, we see a little bit higher price point. And it really just depends on how the community is developed, right? So you can see a ton of action in these neighborhoods. We have a 490K. Let's dive into it. So built 2024. Remember when I said there were new builds and new build communities in Plainfield still? Here we go. We're in Fairwood, 490, and bigger home, 3,300 square feet. Here's a 464, not even built yet. 500K. Let's dive into it. Of course, we're still in Fairwood, built 2025, 500K. But you can see these are newer homes here, newer community, higher price points, and it's a little bit farther north than some of the other ones we looked at. So here, if I can zoom out, we're moving towards Avon, which is a little bit higher price point than Plainfield on the whole. And then as you move farther north there, Brownsburg's a little bit higher price point than Avon. So depending on where you're buying in Plainfield, it's going to dictate your home price. And depending on what communities you're looking in, it's going to change the style of home you're looking at. But there's all sorts of options throughout Plainfield. So now let's run down some of the statistics for Plainfield, Indiana. The population is around 37,000 people, which actually makes it the biggest suburb on the west side of the city. So it's a little bit bigger than Brownsburg, it's bigger than Avon, and it's bigger than Danville as well in Hendricks County. So the population continues to increase as well in Plainfield, and it's growing. The Plainfield school system is currently ranked number 9 in Indiana, according to niche.com, and the high school is ranked number 28, according to U.S. News and World Report, amongst all the high schools in Indiana. So according to the rankings, they're well-regarded schools in Plainfield. The median home price in Plainfield is around $340,000 to $350,000, and I expect this to continue growing over time with current housing trends. The median household income in Plainfield is $85,000, which is a little bit above the Indiana average. And some of the communities in Plainfield include Blackthorn, which is a newer subdivision with custom homes starting at $400,000 and up, featuring like modern designs. There's actually trail access to Perry Crossing and open layouts. Saratoga, these are upscale homes with large lots. Some are in the 500,000 plus range, and they're near White Lick Creek Trail. And the Settlement, these are high-end homes near Hummel Park, often in the 450,000 to 700,000 range with wooded views. And that wraps up our look at Plainfield, Indiana. Now, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like. It lets us know that you liked it, and it's the nice thing to do. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, because you want to stay in the loop on everything happening in and around the Circle City, and we cover all of it. I'm Evan Deal. This is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we cannot wait to see you in the next video.